Greetings, everyone. There we go. Today it's April 2nd, 2025, and this is the Evan Studios Weekly Podcast, Season 2, Episode 12. I am your host, Stark, and I can't believe we only have done 12 of these since I got back. First of all, I want to appreciate I want to say hi to everyone in chat. Shortcut, Fossern. I'm surprised Aaron isn't. Oh, never mind. There he is. How are you all doing? No, that was not a new intro music. It was just sometimes we try to start the podcast a little earlier to make sure that everything is working. So we start with a few songs from our games, and if I recall correctly, the two songs that played were both from the Halloween patch. So in case you don't recognize them, that's because they are not constantly playing throughout the game. They're only there in that specific occasion, so that's why you probably not recognized it. Good thing it's not April 1st, because everybody knows how those days go. And good thing I'm already supposedly recovering from my pneumonia, so I'm still not 100%, but I'm close. Now let's get the important part out of the way. The first thing that I want to talk about is the Christmas patch. I honestly was trying to finish it before the podcast. I am so close. I'm so close that I'm probably just going to release it as it is as soon as the podcast ends, and then go work at it for a couple more hours and hopefully finish it. The things that are left to do are extremely small mistakes that are in the game. For instance, the ending plays one scene too early. So, as you guys know, the game is mostly comprised of dialogue enticing, enticing, premise enticing. So, after the last enticing in the game, which is the sequence of scenes with Eve and who she has sex with. For those that haven't played the game, I don't want to spoil it. After those scenes, there's still one final dialogue in the kitchen. So when I send the test server to Isaac to tell him, okay, now put this in place, this is the ending, it goes after everything else. Isaac forgot that there was one last dialogue in the kitchen, so he put the ending before the dialogue. So it's kind of like the ending plays and then there's the dialogue. That dialogue won't make sense. If I release it like this, that dialogue won't make sense. That dialogue actually happens before the ending. So there's that. And then most of the other stuff is extremely minor stuff. For instance, Arthur's name. When Isaac was making the events right at the start of the game, he grabbed Arthur's name and he copied it from a Robert's dialogue box. So what happens there is Arthur's name is green. That's not even a bug. It's just like people are going to look at it and see, why does Arthur have like a different color code? And well, it was a mistake. Arthur is supposed to be yellow color coded as everyone else, so almost no one is going to notice that. I certainly didn't for quite some time. And then there's just some busts missing and whatnot. They're not missing, they're there, but they're not the correct busts for like the last 10% of the game. And that's it. That's pretty much everything that is left to do. And considering how small it is, I'm probably just going to release a patch right away as soon as the podcast is done, and then do these small fixes and just to release it maybe later tonight. The problem is, like, as you guys probably realized, it's 8 p.m. now, which is the usual time for our podcast. And it might be a little too late for Isaac to fix his part of the stuff. So I can either try to fix it myself, which is probably what's going to happen, or we will have to do it like tomorrow morning. But I don't want to spend another day, because I've already in my head imagined today is like the last case scenario to release this, because I want to go back to focusing full time on Journey Abroad. So yeah, there's that. So that's that's the Christmas patch out of the way. We had a few issues today. For whatever reason, RPG Maker decided to crash on me, so I lost like 20 minutes of work. I was literally just scrolling a window and the program crashed. So good riddance, RPG Maker VX says, I won't miss you. Of course, there's still the possibility that we have to go back to EF to work on the Christmas patch if our supporters decide to expand on it. There's always a possibility that we go back, but hopefully that won't be until many months from now. So yeah, not worried about that. Just want to focus on working on RPG Maker MV. So let's move on to the other games. For Journey Abroad, everything is looking amazing. I was finally able to get a second scripter to work on the game. So now we have 2 people working on the scripts. I was terrified that we had to. I think I mentioned this last week, but I was terrified that we might have had to use placeholders for some menus and whatnot at the end of the month. So I really wanted to avoid that. I want the games to look the best they possibly can. So we were able to get a second scripter. Really good friend of mine. And obviously right now, considering the finances that we have, we can't go out on the market and just start hiring people and outsourcing things, because money is going in the negative every month. So now we're literally just I found a friend of mine that said, "Don't worry, listen, I'll do that for you, and I know how important this is for you. We'll sort this out later down the road." So that was great. And honestly, I usually will feel horrible about asking someone to work for free, so to speak. But it's a really good friend of mine, and in the past I have done a lot of work for him for absolutely zilch. So yeah, it was kind of like the right person arriving at the right time. It was amazing. Meanwhile, in the realm of Bloodlust, and I'm really happy that we decided to do the whole push everything a month back, because a lot of the worries that I had were solved by just that one decision, and not just for the sake of Journey Abroad to be released like 1 month later, because honestly the game will still look pretty great if I released it 2 days ago. It will still be a shadow of what it could actually and deserves to be for a public patch. But the fact that by doing that, I also decided to, instead of like just skip a patch and just keep working on Bloodlust as we planned, we'll make it that this month will be a month for Bloodlust release. And considering everything that has been happening around Bloodlust, I think it will be like the worst idea. It was, honestly, the more I look at it, it was the right decision to push everything back 1 month. And that way this month we have Journey Abroad, and next month we're gonna have Bloodlust. And that is because there's a lot of stuff that we thought we had like written in stone and decided and fully fleshed out, and we're still experimenting with a lot of stuff. I can honestly say that in 10 years that more or less that I've been working with Isaac, there has been 3 occasions where I have seen him be incredibly motivated, like super happy, like super excited to be doing his job. Like, he's not the type of complaining, but he's the type of person that when he's happy and when he's like motivated and he's feeling creative, you can feel the passion on it. And those occasions were as soon as he started working for Evan Studios, when he started making games and it felt like I'm doing what I love for a living. That was a moment. The second one was when we were doing the Halloween patch, and he was just going wild making puzzles and whatnot. He was like super happy then. And even on those 2 cases, I don't think he was anywhere near as happy as he is when he's working on this battle system. Guys, like, you don't understand. He's putting so many hours of work into coding, into trying new stuff, into like putting it in ChatGPT to get him to help him to code the stuff. And sorry, well, running out of air already. So he's been experimenting with a lot of stuff, and he hasn't given up on the idea of making side animated battlers. He didn't give up on the idea, and he has been doing a lot of research, and he found something that he was like, listen, it's that simple. I have this sprite sheet. If you get Muku to draw like the arm here and the head there and the pistol here and whatever, I can use a program to animate all this and make it look amazing. And I could probably try and play a clip for you guys of how that stuff is supposed to look. But I'm probably just going to give you guys the link in chat so you can check after the podcast. And basically, I've seen it, and I instantly saw the upside, like what was going, like how it will look if we did that in our game. Here we go. There's the link. It's on YouTube, so don't worry, I won't send you to some weird links. It's on YouTube. I'm gonna put it in chat if you guys want to check it out later. And it's he explained the whole thing to me, and afterwards I discussed it with Muku, and I was like, listen, Muku, all we need to do is do like this sheet, right? And if you send that to Isaac, he can animate a bunch of stuff. Obviously, we're gonna need to do more than one sheet because depending on the actions, we will have to create like sort of like positions. But we can do one for idle, we can do one for attacks, and then if it's like a fire attack, we can do like a fire special effect, and you don't need to do that. If it's something else, we can create a special effect. You don't need to do that. All we need to do is to just draw like a sprite sheet for idle animation, one for when she's kicking, whatever, and then we can do what we always planned to do, which was the animated anti-scenes or the grapple attacks or whatever on the side battlers. So Isaac hasn't given up on that idea yet. Muku is on board with it, and maybe the whole mock-up that you guys saw last week from like the static battle system, we might do something a lot more animated than that. That is still within the realm of possibility. The difference is we're trying to do that with the in-house team that we have already, instead of having to outsource a lot of art and a lot of animations and a lot of stuff to other people, because right now obviously we cannot afford it. I'm sure you guys gonna see it, and you're instantly going to see the merits of that system, just like I did. So for the battle system in Bloodlust, that is going to be a thing. Meanwhile, I don't know if I already mentioned to you guys, but we have decided to incorporate Morgan's idea. For everyone that saw the podcast way back, he suggested that. So we were kind of like, at the time, we were doing like a small presentation of the antagonists for Bloodlust, and Morgan mentioned, why don't we have like a scrawny old man? Like, it's kind of a staple in every anti-scene, in every anti-game. And you also mentioned the janitor way back then, and you didn't mention a janitor now. So what happened with obviously the old man is something that I really like in the anti-games, but I was like, yeah, okay, he's a staple. Like, there's a bunch of things that are staples, but I was like, yeah, this game is definitely going to, everybody's looking like a Chad, and we don't have a lot of like hateable characters, so to speak. And I did mention a janitor, but I cut him off because Bloodlust was starting to turn out to be like way too big. The janitor was supposed to be the father of one of the antagonists. Essentially, most of his scenes will be the scenes that are now for the gym teacher, the male gym teacher, which we have already finished. We kind of call him the guy from The Boys. I'm gonna try and get a picture of him right here. Give me a second. But yeah, there's already a few characters that we have finished. Don't want to like spoil too much, but gonna give you guys like a sneak peek at him. Let me just open this image if I can, because Discord freaking Discord changed the layout of the things a while ago, and I'm still kind of getting used to it, but here it is. Let me just add the image here. Why does... Jesus Christ, why do you always do this? Nothing works nicely. So yeah, this is going to be the character that was... Well, it wasn't gonna look like this, but the part of the story that was written for him was going to be the janitor's part of the story. But meanwhile, we came up with the idea of playing Eve throughout 2 time periods. One when she's like younger and she's going to school with this guy, and one where they meet and they're older and he recognizes her and whatnot. So since we didn't want to just create another character and add a bunch of scenes and whatnot, we decided it will be better if we switch the scenes more towards this character other than a janitor, and we just scraped the janitor altogether. But yeah, then we figured out that most of the characters, as a few people have pointed out, was starting to turn into like Giga Chads, and we were like, yeah, we probably could use an old man. And Morgan even was even nice enough to send us a few examples of what he thought would be a nice look for the old man. We have studied it. We have made kind of like a sketch of what we are gonna be using. So it's a combination of a bunch of styles. We haven't worked on it yet because obviously it's the last guy in the list of a lot of characters that we need to create. But he's definitely gonna be in the game. And the reason why I decided to add him is because I have a few scenes that I think will fit him like perfectly. So I didn't just add him for the sake of just adding a janitor old man. It was like, okay, can I make him make sense in the game? Can I make his scene spicy? Can I make him add something, bring something new to the game that the other characters will not? And thankfully, after thinking a lot about it, trying to picture like a bunch of different scenarios and whatnot, we decided to give him kind of like a minor part in which he's going to have like 3-4 scenes, which won't bloat the side of the game a lot, but it will definitely hit that note for the people that like the scrawny looking old man, kind of like creepy and whatnot. And we felt that it will fit the game perfectly, because he's kind of like a creepy old man janitor that is kind of hitting on the students, and Eve reprimands him over and over. And then there's a part where Eve is trying to sneak around in the school, and she's going to get caught, and the janitor tells her to get into the little janitor closet. And they try to open the closet is closed. Eve is hiding in there with the janitor. They're staying silent, and then she owes him a favor, and things escalate from that point. And that's kind of like the starting point to the janitor story. I don't like to spoil too much when it comes in terms of story, because I want you guys to experience this stuff on your own. But we are super excited in terms of development for all of our games right now. And for Bloodlust, Isaac is super excited about the battle system. We are super excited to do the story parts and whatnot. It's super important right now, considering how heavy in terms of scripting the game is, that we got a second scripter, and also because one of our scripters went offline for like a week due to like real personal stuff. And again, this was already someone that was agreeing to help us for free, not for free, but for future revenue. It's the same person that we already made a deal to work on all of our Rampy games and everything that we release, and we're gonna do the same for the Rampy releases of Journey Abroad and Bloodlust, which I had confirmed in the past, but I still have to. I feel the need to explain that this will always be released after the RPG Maker versions, simply because we in our studios are working directly in RPG Maker MV. We are doing the game in MV. The Rampy stuff is going to be a port, so the port will always come. I don't know how long later from the regular patch, but it can be anything from a few days, from a few weeks to a month. I don't know. It's gonna depend on the availability of the person that we're working with that creates the ports. But the important part is that we will be able to have the game available in 2 platforms. I'm not entirely sure how he's gonna do with the minigames and the battle system and whatnot. Where Fleeting Ares in general, to the exception of a few parts in the game, like the Officer Chloe minigame and the Halloween minigame, I would say that Fleeting Ares in general transitions well into Rampy because it's mostly a visual novel. So I know that there's a lot of people that like the immersion of going out, exploring the city, stumbling into scenes, kind of seeing more like the setting and the context in which the entire scenes happen. But I also know that there's a lot of people that find that all very confusing and just they'd rather point and click and advance everything super fast Rampy wise. Because of that, Journey Abroad might be the type of game that with the type of minigames that we have and whatnot might also transition well into Rampy, just like Fleeting Ares. But I have no idea how we're gonna make it so that a game with a very complex battle system with a lot of animations and whatnot, I have no idea how that is going to transition into Rampy. To be honest, I have no idea. I imagine that worst case scenario, the battle system becomes completely different. It becomes like an RPG type of battle system. Honestly, I don't think I've ever seen. Please, cat, can you not right now, please? I don't think I've ever seen any Rampy game with an actual battle system. But yeah, it's probably going to be a little challenging. Journey Abroad, not as much. We're going to have mini games, but those are probably going to be easy. It's going to be probably like click mash or timing mini games or whatnot. Whereas Bloodlust is going to have a full fleshed out battle system that we are going to make just custom for these games. So I don't know, the transition might not be amazing, but we'll see. At least it's going to be available in both platforms. I don't know again how long it's going to take, but it's going to be there. And then there's going to be the issues with translating and whatnot. But the good thing about the Rampy port for Journey Abroad and Bloodlust is that everything that we've been doing nowadays, we're usually instantly happy with the product. Whereas when we were doing Fleeting Ares, especially with the early stuff in the game, there was a lot of stuff that we knew we would have to go back and proofread, change huge chunks of the story because we didn't like how it looked, change maps, redraw scenes that we thought were not very good early on. Especially early game, the game can be kind of rough in terms of art because Muku was still in a very early stage. Tiger Lila was still not on board with the team. My cat's doing things again. So yeah, the early game, all of us were still learning. There were a lot of mistakes. There were a lot of bugs. The dialogue was incredibly rough. The art was incredibly rough. And we always thought we need to go back and fix this. Such as voice acting the game, animating most of the stuff, etc., etc. Unfortunately, we never got in a financially stable situation in which we could have done that. But we always knew we have to go back and improve that part of the game, and we're already doing that in RPG Maker. Imagine doing the a Rampy port that suddenly it becomes completely outdated. That's why we never got to search for people or try to do a rampy port of the game or whatnot. But thankfully, when we were, sort of like done with the game, Mike appeared and it was like, listen, I want to help you guys in rampy and do a rampy port for the game. I think your game is awesome, etc., etc. The rest is history, and we now have amazing rampy ports of the games. So that's going to be super cool. For people that don't enjoy RPG Maker, there's going to be a rampy port. And it's going to depend. Like Bloodlust, like I said, it might not transition well, but Journey Abroad, like most people might actually end up enjoying the Journey Abroad version more than they enjoy the RPG Maker version. And probably it's going to have a bigger resolution. Not that the RPG Maker version won't have a big enough resolution already. It's going to be 1400 by like 1000 or something like that. And even if you don't like that resolution, you can always download Magpie. There's ways to circumvent that situation nowadays. So you can always just download Magpie and have full screen RPG Maker, the RPG Maker MV version. So it's really going to depend in terms of gameplay which one you enjoy the most. You want to like see the character top down, interact with the characters, see the animated sprites and whatnot, or do you want the simplicity of just clicking stuff, being able to quickly navigate through maps and see like the visual novel backgrounds and whatnot. And obviously AI is going to help a lot with that, because while we are completely against using AI for the anti-scenes and whatnot, when it comes to like some of the minor stuff like the backgrounds and such, we are okay with it. There's not a lot that we want to bring AI to do in our game, but a visual novel background is definitely not something that we oppose to. And AI is definitely improving and advancing very fast. So while we might not use AI to do most of the heavy lifting, it can definitely help in some minor stuff. Some other stuff that we need to do very very soon is the menus. Like I think I said before, but for Journey Abroad, we want to have like a cell phone menu where you open and you see everything from the girl stats, the quest log, where do you need to go, your stats, your charisma, your money, etc. And for Bloodlust, we want to have like full blown menus with the save system and the equip system and all that stuff in there. So that's completely two different things that need to be designed, programmed, etc., etc. So yeah, we don't have a lot of time to do that, so we're putting a lot of effort into those things right now, because honestly, with the amount of art that we have already for Journey Abroad, it all comes down to just writing the game and putting the events into places and making the maps and whatnot. But definitely the biggest time sink when it comes to Journey Abroad is definitely doing the menus and just the design behind everything, because it's one of those things that it takes a lot of effort, like in the front end and in the back end. Some of the stuff that you guys see in game might look amazing and not take a lot of time to do, and some of the stuff that is in the game that goes by in like 5 seconds can take days to make. Menus are definitely the type of thing that it just sucks, because you have to draw every little thing, every little button, everything needs to like match with everything else. There's a bunch of every little menu that you click is going to be customized and whatnot, and then you have to do the back end for all of that stuff. So you honestly have two options. Actually, you might have like three options that I can think of from the top of my head. The first one is going with the original RPG Maker menus, which suck dick. The second option is going online and search for free stuff that other people do, and provided some of it obviously is not free, but there's a lot of cheap stuff out there created by people like Victor and basically very famous scripters in the RPG Maker MV world. I don't remember the main one, the guy that everybody knows. Yanfly, there we go. We can look for E12 stuff. Some of it is free, some of it is like, dirt cheap, some of it is not even for sale anymore. But Isaac was supporting him way back when in Patreon, and he got all of the stuff that was taken off the market. So you cannot buy it anymore. It's not available for commercial purchase anymore. But Isaac has it, and he has the rights to use it. It's kind of like if you bought it, then good for you. If you haven't yet, you cannot legally find it. But if you already have it, you can use it. But if you don't, sucks to be you. So we can use that and optimize to our game the things that we can, or we can do what we have done for most of Fleeting Iris, which is customize everything and try to make all the menus look like super freaking cool, and match the motif of the game, and make everything very, very immersive, and honestly feel like it was made for the game, not something that you just grab like different car parts, or when you're playing RPGs and you have different pieces from like a different set, and then your chest is green, your arms are pink, your slippers are yellow, and you got like flip flops with shorts and an umbrella, And when people pick up art from like different artists, and they start picking like different scripts from different places with like different colors, your game turns into a circus, And we don't want to do that. And a lot of that free stuff that you can get, you don't have permission to edit it in any way, shape, or form. It's as is, so you need to use it the way it is. You cannot edit those scripts. And since everything that we do for Fleeting Iris and Journey Abroad and Bloodlust and all our games is legal, everything that we have that is commercial, we have licenses. We have a fuck ton of licenses. We obviously have the post game stuff that gives credit to people that just want to have credit. We have that at the ending of Fleeting Iris on a bunch of endings, and now we even have it in game. There's basically a place where you can see everybody that got involved in the game, as well as there's also another place in the game where you can check for the top 10 contributors in Patreon and Subscribestar and whatnot. And the funny thing about that stone is those people are going to be immortalized, in a sense that those were the biggest contributors for Fleeting Iris until the day the game was released on Steam. And we are never going to change that image. There are 10 people in there immortalized in the game whose nicknames are never going to be removed. And there's a chance that we do the same thing for Bloodlust, and there's a chance that we do a similar thing for Journey Abroad, where we have something that where we give our special thanks for people that have contributed in the game with a lot of support financially and not only. Obviously, there's a lot of people that have been very supportive and very active in the development of the game. Ariane, for instance, is a perfect example of it. Zelmate for Fleeting Iris was a perfect example of someone that was actively contributing every week and being super passionate and asking about things, giving suggestions and whatnot. So there's definitely like, we enjoy doing those little tidbits, those little Easter eggs where you can find that stuff. And it's more than just putting a bunch of, hey, here's all of our patrons, and then a wall that nobody reads. We usually do that at the end of the game, and it's the credits. But we like to give people a little something extra, a little something special for all the support, because we do this for you guys. And if we didn't get this feedback, if we didn't get this instant gratification and like an answer to what we do, because that's what we live on. It's on like positive enforcement or like negative criticism. That's what makes us be able to keep doing the game. That's how we improve. I mean, you guys haven't even got the first playable version. We're already adding characters that people suggested, and that was saving the suggestions for late in the game. But it is what it is. I definitely feel that our games feel always very organic because of the huge end of contribution that the community gives. Um, so you guys are fucking awesome, and Fleeting Hours is what it is because of you guys. And Journey Abroad and Bloodlust definitely are going to become better games because of you guys. So I can't wait to see all the suggestions. I can wait to see all the feedback, and I know you guys are going to love the game. We are all super psyched. Ivan Vincent is on the chat. It's the GOAT himself. I don't know who's the GOAT, but yeah. Wish we can do Bloodlust first, though. What do you mean do Bloodlust first? Like release Bloodlust first? The problem with Bloodlust is that we have already been developing and creating assets for Journey Abroad for 2 years. And we only started doing assets for Bloodlust 3 months ago. That's why it was very important to push Bloodlust a month back. But yeah, I know. I honestly, listen, I get you guys. I get it. Journey Abroad is something new with a new artist. And all I can say about Journey Abroad is, guys, trust me, it's going to be an amazing story, right? But it's new characters. It's a male main character. You guys are not used to this. It's a different artist. Without spoiling, I can say much about the story. I can probably listen. Now we're kind of short on time to do that, but maybe next week I can grab all of the Journey Abroad characters and kind of explain how you're going to interact with them and why they are special to the game and what are they going to bring to the game, and try to get you guys a little bit more psyched about Journey Abroad once you realize the full potential of the game. But I also know that Bloodlust is kind of like the sequel of Fleeting Hours. We're going to see Ayame cameos. It's characters that you guys are already used to. It's in a season that you guys are used to, with artists that you guys are already used to. And then we keep talking about this amazing battle system and this amazing story and all these characters that you already know who are going to be the antagonists. And basically, I feel like we've been psyching unconsciously a lot about Bloodlust, and maybe not a lot about Journey Abroad because it's a visual novel and it feels like it's less of a game because of it. But we're also super excited about Journey Abroad. The problem is, in terms of actual gameplay, like Bloodlust is going to be a lot more dynamic. I've always said that the strong point about Journey Abroad is going to be the story itself. It's going to be the characters, their character, the charisma about the main character. And now I want people to self-imprint on him. I want people to feel like in the flesh of someone that goes from like zero to hero, how to be able to talk to a bunch of different type of women, and start from the zero and then be able to succeed like through merit, through hard work, through I feel like story-wise, Journey Abroad is going to be so strong that it doesn't need all these things. Bloodlust has been, imagined for years. We had no idea we will work on Journey Abroad one day. We had no idea. The plan was always Fleeting Hours, Bloodlust, Night Eternal, Crimson Dawn. That was always the goal. And then make a game where you can play with all the female MCs and whatnot. That was always the goal. Like Journey Abroad now might feel like a little bit alien. It might be coming out of nowhere with characters out of nowhere and whatnot. Obviously, we're super excited for Bloodlust because it's kind of like trying to share the winning formula. It's cake again. You guys know how this tastes, but better. You remember the cake from Fleeting Hours? It's the same cake, but now it has like whipped cream on top, and it has a battle system, and instead of one main character there's two, and Divi's super gorgeous and she has massive baggage. There's a lot to be excited about Bloodlust, but I promise you guys, you won't be let down when it comes to Journey Abroad. The game is going to be super fucking cool, I promise you. Obviously Bloodlust is going to have a lot more stuff that people are going to get excited for, like the battle system. We are super excited. And basically you guys already know so much about the characters and the antagonists and whatnot. You have already seen a little bit from the characters in the cameos in Fleeting Iris, and obviously there's the Fleeting Iris IF and the Halloween, which makes you feel closer to the characters. And I love that. I love that when you guys play the game, for me, one of the strongest points of Fleeting Iris is, sure, you can look at it negatively. A lot of people say the game is too long, it drags out for too long. You guys have been developing that shit for 10 years. You guys are milking you guys are milking the Patreons. You guys have no better ideas and whatever. Sure, I see all the negative that comes from it. But for 10 years, especially for people that have been following this from way back there, I don't know about you guys, but for me, it's kind of like watching an anime ongoing for 10 years. It's kind of like watching Dragon Ball. It's kind of like watching Naruto. You guys knew that every few months, you will get to know Ayami a little bit better. See Ayami do more kinkier stuff. Like, you guys got to know the characters. You guys got to have the characters in your lives for a long period of time. Ayami will always come back with a new patch, with a bunch of new friends, with a bunch of new stories to tell, and you get used to that. And I feel like Journey Abroad feels like, oh, it's the new guy in the block, let's try and get to know him. And everybody in Bloodlust and whatnot, this is family. I've known these characters for years already. I've known the artists, I've known the developer, I know how this character will behave in this scenario, I've known their jokes, I've known the silly stuff that they've did, and this has been it for 10 years. And sometimes it's so stupid because it's a game. And it should be something that you just use as a form of escapism from real life, or maybe just something that you just want to use to get, rid of your human urges, but sometimes it's so much more than that. And I definitely feel the passion that people have already for Ayame and everybody in the cast of the Unless Chronicles. I love that, and hopefully with your help there's so much more to come, and with the new battle system and the new songs and everything, I'm so excited for you guys to try this, because it's everything that we ever released but better. We are all so much better. In music wise, we're better, our sprite artists are better, our art is better, our dialogue is better. Like, you can see this like, you go and play the first 15 minutes of Fleeting Iris, and then you play the Shota patch or the Christmas patch for EF, and you're like, this can't be the same developers. Like, the art looks completely different, the maps are so much better, the songs are so much better, the music is so much better, the dialogue is so much better. Thank you, AI, for fixing all my grammar, all my shitty grammar. But this is not because I'm bad at English. I'm just better at writing, period. Like, I'm not better in Portuguese. Like, I can't grammar for shit. I'm a comma splicer. I am very inventive, but I have a problem where I try to, like, if I'm explaining something and I make a pause in real life, I'm going to put a comma there in dialogue. If I'm writing it, I'm going to just put a dialogue every time. I'm like, okay, there's a pause here in the dialogue, and when you put that on paper, it looks like shit. But that's not my goal, and obviously AI has done a lot for the Shota patch, and it has done a lot for the EF for the Christmas patch. And the only problem is, now it takes twice the time to do stuff, because every time everything that I write, I have to proofread and then copy it into the game, into the actual project. And then obviously sometimes when AI fixes the grammar, it kind of changes the meaning of a sentence or what it's supposed to mean. And it's like, listen, you didn't quite get what I was trying to say. And this is like twice as true when it comes to adult themes. But it's much better now, because I'm not kidding. Like, a couple months ago, you couldn't fit anything adult. You couldn't even say dick on freaking ChatGPT. Like anything that was adult was completely out of question. So I will have to do things like, if I had a sentence where I had like, oh yeah, suck on this huge dick, I will have to be, oh yeah, suck on this huge lollipop, and then go back and, you know, edit it again. That's a thing that I had to do. So it was even more work when AI arrived. But thankfully that's not a thing anymore, and the process is slightly better. But even creating dialogue, I have to write the dialogue. Obviously it doesn't come right the first time around. I have to rewrite that shit until I like the way it sounds. But then it doesn't look natural, so I have to go, and obviously the grammar is completely butchered. So then I have to shove that shit on Grok or ChatGPT, get it to fix that. And before, like 2 months ago, I had to like switch everything that sounded like innuendo or like it sounded sexual. I had to change everything. Instead of, oh, are you gonna fuck me? It will be like, oh, are you gonna play basketball with me? I will have to write something like, okay, the sentence is probably gonna look the same and have the commas in the same place and the dots in the same place and whatnot. But I had to NSFW all the sentences, put it on ChatGPT to correct it, then NSFW the scenes, remove the clean parts, put it on the game, and then I have to go and pick the bus for the character, pick the correct expression for the character, and that's it, just for one line. Just so you guys have an idea, Fleeting Iris, if I'm not mistaken, had something like 418,000 lines of dialogue. It had something like 7 million words or something like that. It was completely ridiculous. Even a game like the Christmas Patch has something like, if I recall correctly, 72,000 lines of dialogue. 72,000. You can play the game in like an hour. If you hold control and you just skip everything, you're done in an hour. And it has a fuck ton of lines of dialogue. And all lines of dialogue, you have to go through that process. So, just so you guys have an idea of how much work it is, Isaac, one of the things that he needs to do, although he's kind of like me, like there's a considerable amount of people that don't feel confident about talking live or on a podcast, and I understand that because I was also not very confident. I still am not. But Isaac feels even less confident, so he wants to make a video and he wants to upload it for you guys. One, because he wants to show you guys how much work goes into making the battle system, and second, because he wants you guys to like peep game into what is you know, actually seeing the work that he does, and obviously for bragging rights, because he wants to show you guys how complex that thing is in the back end, and all the scripts and whatnot. Like, he already has a list of like 20 scripts only for the battle system. And he wants to create a video, but he also wants to write a script. He wants to kind of like read from a script while he's doing the video. He wants to upload it, make sure that there's no mistakes going on, and that there's no silly like bugs and whatnot. So he wants to make a huge video. I'm sure he's going to do it like very soon, maybe this week or next week. But he's going to do it like a big ass video explaining how the battle system works and everything that took to make it. And share it with you guys, because I feel like that's an important part of our work. It's not only just delivering, it's showing you guys where are we putting all the time that we spend in the game, where are we investing all the money that you guys give us. All of that is really important to us, being absolutely transparent. That's why we made so many of our decisions in the past. That's why our podcast is the way it is and not like super edited. I always do it live, and with all the mistakes, with all the accidents that happen, and you know, it kind of became sort of like a meme, like a laughing reason. All the weird shit that has happened in the podcast, but that is us. That has always been us. We are transparent and apologetic. It's you know, you see what you get and you get what you see. And in terms of work, that's pretty much what we want to do. And obviously, again, I can't stress enough how much you guys should probably just take 5 minutes to learn how to edit an RPG Maker project and see what goes behind the scenes of everything thing that you see, but you're going to be able to see that for the battle system in RPG Maker MV, and you guys are probably going to be as impressed as I was. And I already had an idea of how much work Isaac was putting into it, and that is only the things that you can see. Like, you're going to see a bunch of lines of code, you're going to see like battling and whatnot, and that's without the testing, retesting, adjusting numbers, blah blah blah. There's a lot of stuff that goes into a game that most people don't even think about, most people don't even consider all the time that is put into it. But it is what it is. We are obviously super excited to release Bloodlust, but Journey Abroad is first, and Journey Abroad is first for that reason. We still need a little bit more time to be able to work on Bloodlust. Tiger Lila and Muku are working as hard as they possibly can in the busts. We are gonna obviously try to fit a little bit of adult stuff into the first patch, and then we would love to be able to have the battle system already functioning in the second patch, like we explained in the last podcast. So that will be so the first patch will be May. June will be Journey Abroad. So July will be the end of July will be the Bloodlust patch that has the battle system. The first patch will be May, and that's the one where we want to have all of the antagonists already in the game, and that's the one where we already want to have a couple few anti-scenes already in there. Obviously not like full-blown anti-scenes, or at least not with the main characters. That's probably one of the workarounds that we're going to have, so that we are able to showcase the quality of the anti-scenes while not advancing too fast on the story. And we're gonna use that in Journey Abroad, and we're gonna use that in Bloodlust. Maybe having a few other characters, a few less important characters, go through anti-scenes. A lot of developers do this through many different ways. The characters having like wet dreams about characters that they will only have sex with like late in the game. Characters having like romantic relationships with characters. Like, one way that we could go about early on showcasing our art when inflating Iris will be, and was, I am having sex with Robert. So those are some of the few ways that we can use to showcase the art without actually, getting the characters to be corrupted too fast. And obviously there's some ways to get into it in both games, for Journey Abroad and Bloodlust. For Bloodlust, we already know that that Jazz is going to move in with a girl, and basically she's going to see this girl and their boyfriend having sex. So that's probably going to be one of the earliest on sex scenes in the game. And for Journey Abroad, you already saw the shower scene. You already saw like the moms make out and whatnot. So we're going to have a few other scenes that look like that. That are not like full-blown anti-scenes, and they don't kind of like progress the story. I mean, they do, but not in the way that people expect the story to develop. So yeah, we definitely want to we definitely want to use that, because like I said, the first few patches that we want to do for this month and for Bloodlust next month, we want them to be the public patch. Hopefully it's good enough to be the first in final, but if we feel like it's not good enough, or it doesn't showcase the best out of the game, there's a possibility that there might be public patches in the future for public demos. But we are confident that with the work that we've been putting into it, and with all the things that we have, that they will be good enough. So let's hope they are. Anyway, we don't have a lot of dialogue in chat today. I hope you guys were just super excited about what I was talking and just didn't have a lot of questions. Morgan, what's up, man? You're gonna have to listen to the podcast again, because we did talk about your old man earlier in the podcast. So if you wanna hear about it, you're gonna have to hear the VOD. So yeah, I hope you guys are super excited. I'm going to get off because I need to go finish the Christmas patch, and I really, really, really would like to be able to release that stuff today. If it's not finished, if it's missing a couple of things, like I said, the wrong color code for the name and other like super minor shit that no one cares about, I'm still going to release it. And then release the fixed stuff in the morning because I don't want to annoy Isaac at like 9 p.m. I mean, yes, 2 kids, 2 baby kids, and yeah, this is what it is. Yeah, I appreciate you guys so much for showing up this week. As you guys can probably tell, I'm not at 100% yet, but I'm close. It's definitely a lot better than I sounded last week, so yay for that. And yeah, I'm feeling super psyched. Hopefully, if you guys want, Friday I can do, if my voice isn't just, my throat is like super sore already. I don't know why. Hopefully Friday I can also do an anti-talk podcast. I'm going to leave that to you guys. If you guys want to hear me discuss anti-games, let me know on Discord. If not, I'll just skip this week. But, again, I'm going to leave it up to you guys. If you guys want to show up, cool. If you guys don't want to show up, it is what it is. You guys already hear me talk incessantly for a freaking hour every week, so I don't blame you. Thank you so much for showing up one more time. I don't know, man. I can't thank you enough for sharing this with me, with the excitement everybody has for the game. We have it too. We can't wait to share the game with you guys. I know how excited you guys are, and yeah, man. Like, I don't know, man. It's everything is so cool. I can't wait till you guys try it and fucking just tear us a new one because you don't like it. I'll see you guys hopefully in a few hours with me finishing the Christmas patch. Other than that, I'll see you guys either Friday or next week with a new podcast. I hope to see you guys then for sure. Thank you so much for watching, and have a nice week, everybody.
君の笑